So welcome to Keeping It 100 with Michelle A. I appreciate you guys tuning in and following. Tonight, I may lose some of my followers. I pray and I hope not. But the topic that's in my spirit, and as you see, it's me by myself tonight. But the topic that's in my spirit is this Jezebel spirit that is running rampant in the church. Crazy, I know. But I'm going to talk about it. I don't have anybody to ask questions, so I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to share what's in my spirit. When we talk about the spirit of Jezebel, Jezebel does not have a gender. And for some reason, churches of old have always said that Jezebel was a woman that's in the church, and a woman that wears makeup, and a woman that wears pants, and a woman that seduces the men. Jezebel does not have a gender. It is a spirit. It is a spirit of control. It is a spirit of manipulation. And this spirit runs so rapid in our churches because there are people who we're discerning that spirit in the wrong way. That Jezebel spirit can control relationships between spouses, between husbands and wife. There are women who do have the spirit of Jezebel on them, and they walk into the churches to purposely seduce the pastors. There's men that has that spirit of Jezebel on them. They walk into churches purposely with the mindset of they are going to control the church and the church settings. They're going to change things around in the church. It's going to be their way, or it's going to be their way or no way. That is a Jezebel spirit. It's a very demonic spirit of control. And you can have pastors and prophets and evangelists as well who can carry the spirit of Jezebel on them. When I come into the church, I'm going to command you to give an offering, and I'm going to command you to give $100. That's a spirit of manipulation, and it's a spirit of control, and it's running rampant in our churches. I wanted to read something out of a book that I've been reading, and it says there are godly women who come to church seeking God, but the spirit has them fantasizing about a man in the assembly, lamenting that their husbands are not as spiritual as other husbands. Soon these women develop problems that only the pastor can understand. And then you wonder how come we have all this craziness about the pastor sleeping with the members. Now, it's a twofold thing. I wouldn't know anything about this spirit if I didn't carry it at one point in time in my life. I did. I carried it, so I know about it. And there's women who come in and they sit in the house of God. And as the pastor or the prophet is prophesying or preaching, they're fantasizing about this man being their husband, or this man being their mate, or this man, what this man can do for them sexually or financially, what happened. And what they do is the spirit of manipulation begins to work on the inside of them because they're not living to part, so they really can't push the spirit away from them. And then just through a casual conversation, there's a glance of an eye, there's a touch of a hand. That's one reason why you just can't go hugging anybody and touching anybody, because you don't know if you're not using discernment, which most people aren't, they're just judging and not using true discernment in the house of God, then you're not really discerning that this person has a spirit of Jezebel on them. And you end up bringing them in your office, and then they're whining and crying and woe is me, and wanting to cry on your shoulder, and one thing leads to the other. At the end of the day, now you're looking crazy and silly in the face trying to figure out how you just slept with your member or how you just slept with your pastor. You understand what I'm saying? So we really need to take hold and pull this spirit down out of the atmosphere in our churches, in our homes, on our jobs, because the spirit is strong. And it's not just a spirit that a woman has on her. It has no gender. It is a spirit of control. I could go on and on and on, but I just really, and I'll get somebody in, I promise you. I'll bring someone in, a pastor, maybe a prophet, what have you, and I'll allow them to express how they feel concerning this spirit. But we really need to open our eyes to the spirit, because this is a spirit that we overlook. We overlook it because of the lack of knowledge, because we're fighting and trying to come against and pray against an individual, when it's not an individual. It's a spirit of control, a spirit of manipulation, from the pulpit to the usher on the door. That spirit can attach itself to anybody that has an open doorway. So, I check myself. I check myself 24/7. I've not like I said all the time, I've not always been saved. I've not always been sanctified and Holy Ghost filled. I have my days of dipping in and dipping out. I did, as we all do. And even now, I don't put myself up here, because at any given moment, I'm one step away from hell bound. So I have to work on myself every single day to make sure that a seductive spirit doesn't fall on me, a controlling spirit doesn't fall on me, a manipulation spirit doesn't fall on me. So those of you who are judging everybody else, you might want to stop for a minute, look in the mirror, and check your own self out, and start calling those spirits that are lying dormant within you, within your own personal members. And those spirits rise up. But they rise up. They rise up when, how can I say, when something doesn't go your way, or something you don't like in the church, or somebody has said something to you that you really don't like, has ruffled your feathers. And then that's when that spirit of control and manipulation, or even the seductive spirit, will rise up. So we really need to check ourselves from the pulpit to the usher on the door. Thank you again for tuning in with Keeping It 100 with Michelle A. You guys have a great day, great evening.